Russell Wilson is on the Giants now, a shell of himself as a football player. Definitely don't get him on your fantasy team, fellas. He will not do any good this year. But he had an in-game interview and he was talking about his family and he called baby Future his son. A lot of folks had some pushback, a lot of raised eyebrows in calling baby Future his son. I thought it was very interesting. In my opinion, especially because him and the mother are married now. Kenya, how did you feel about that?
I don't have a problem with it. Like, honestly, I think that's a bunch of nothing. I thought he had been saying like his son, and that was like the whole big thing. Like when it first became, well, I guess like once they first became a family, everybody was like, "That's not your son." Um, it is if he's like chosen to be, a father figure. It's not like a bonus dad, a second dad. He obviously we don't have any allegations of any wrongdoing. He seems to be very good with the kids. He seems to take good care of them. He loves them. I don't see a problem with it. I don't even know if Future has a problem with it.
Yeah,
Oh.
Future definitely had a problem with it. He
Oh.
remember that tweet where he put the football in the gun on Twitter that one time. I don't know, he might not.
What? A football and a gun?
Yeah. And then he had a lyric too about something. I forgot what it was, but yeah, Future definitely seen a problem with it early, and then him and Jay Z had that line in the song, "You don't want niggas playing football with your son." Very nasty by Hove. I'm not gonna lie.
What is so what so you can't so is it the problem is saying son. So what every time I refer to I have to say stepson every time like I refer to him, and there's other children in the household that are mine.
I'm not gonna lie. This is very tricky. Because I am in the situation. I don't know if I would say it publicly. I don't know. But they are married, so this is like I had a big problem with Ciara basically putting it in our face when they were still dating. I thought that was very nasty. You don't do that type of shit, boyfriend and girlfriend. But now that they're married, it's a whole different dynamic. So I don't necessarily mind it, but I don't know if I would say it out loud. Like, I don't know. I would still have
You
and then
wouldn't.
it's dependent on Future and Russell Wilson's relationship. That
Right.
whole dynamic, right? Yeah, I don't know, but I did watch a video of Ciara. She was sitting with, I think, Breakfast Club, and she was talking to Lauren LaRosa, and she was basically saying, that's the dynamic, and it is making sure that all the kids, I think they got 4 kids in the house now, making sure that they
Yeah.
all feel like they're loved equally.
Right. That's what I always thought it was about. I thought that like parents, like the adults in the home would make a serious effort so that nobody feels outcasted or feels like a step or other. So I don't. It's the maturity level of the adults. I just feel like picking those kind of things to take issue with, and there's nothing else that's actually an issue. That's like indicative of your character. Because is the baby okay? Is the baby well cared for? Are you still being respected? I don't think him saying son is a disrespect to you specifically.
It could be.
How?
It definitely could be if we don't see eye to eye, right? I
Okay,
think
yeah,
it,
I get that. But if we don't see eye to eye because you're an egotistical immature piece of crap. Like it's just at what point do we just acknowledge, well, maybe it's just because this person is just not evolved enough to accept the situation.
true. Uh, that's why it's tricky. See, for me, my dad, my sister is sister by marriage, right? And my dad calls her his daughter. He's known her since 3 years old. And her dad lived like 30 minutes down the street. And I only seen that nigga probably twice, maybe. I know I seen him when she graduated high school. I think he like showed up at the door one time. Other than that, I've never seen the nigga, right? And so she, that's my dad's daughter, right? She doesn't call him dad though. So that's also an interesting piece. I would like to know what baby future calls Russ. That would be very interesting because
I promise he's calling that man dad in that house. I'm
yeah,
sure he is.
that's a no go. That's a no go.
So what he's
Not gonna
supposed to
lie.
call him, Russ?
Yes. Or Mr. Russell.
He's supposed to call him Mr. Russell
No
while all the
bullshit.
other children.
I'm 34 years old. I call my stepmom Miss Sean to this day.
I do call my stepfather like Shaka. I call him his name, but that's only because well I already like grew up calling my grandfather daddy. Like he's the one who raised me. So that's just already like, I don't know, I just already say daddy for him. Back when I did accept the jail calls from my dad, I would say dad like in conversation because I mean it just felt odd to call my actual father his name. Um, but if I did not have a father figure at all, I probably would not have taken issue with calling my stepfather dad.
But Future's still alive. That's the thing. That's where it gets tricky, right?
You can't have two like you okay, but you can have two of something and that'd be okay.
Uh, no, you can't. You only got one dad and one mom.
Yes, you only have one actual dad that has created you, but if there is another man that is leading your household, and this is my problem with these conversations. Y'all be wanting to hold on to all this stuff. You should have did right and married her. You didn't. So how you want to hold on so tightly to a title that there's another man that is the head of that household and he is doing the day to day and taking care of the kid. I don't think if he's not throwing it in your face or if he's not trying to like to spite you, he's just actually loving on your kid. I don't see what's the problem.
Head of the household doesn't equal you're my dad.
It,
Head
it
of the
it
household
doesn't,
means
but
you
it's
taking care of
supposed
this
to, and
house.
that's where we lost the plot because I don't know.
Go ahead, Memphis. What's the word? How you feeling today on this Sunday?
I'm fine, and you already getting on my nerves. We ain't number 5 seconds into this mother choker, okay? What the
Oh,
hell is wrong with you? If
uh,
that man is raising and nurturing and providing for that baby and sees that baby as his son and not just a stepson or not just some little raggedy mouth ass kid that I'm responsible for that I don't want, what the hell is the problem?
like I said, I don't
Ego.
necessarily I call my stepdaughter my daughter. I say this all the time, and I got 3 kids on these spaces. I don't
Yes.
necessarily see an
Okay.
issue, but as far as like I said, I don't know if I would say it
Is her father still
loud.
alive?
Who the
Yes.
fuck
Okay.
cares what Future like or don't like with that ugly ass hair color he just chose? Don't nobody give a fuck.
I think
If
that's really
he
what it
Agree.
felt
is.
if
I mean, look at the
if
men
he
that you're
felt slightest
attracted.
by that shit, nigga, do better. But outside of that, if Russell and that baby have a genuine good relationship and they are both fine with the way that they interact and with each other as a father and a son, then I don't see nothing wrong with it. And anybody who do need to check their motherfucking ego.
CJ, come on, man. Be the right side of history.
Yep.
What's the word?
Oh
Look,
no.
man, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Isha, Kenya, you know I love y'all, but y'all gotta shut the fuck up.
What?
Dang!
I'm so sorry. Ain't no, hell no, hell the fuck no. Ain't no way in the world this man finna get on national TV and call my son his son. Nigga, you are the stepfather. You and unless I'm dead or unless you've adopted that kid, that is not your son. That is your stepson. You are the stepfather. Stay in your fucking lane. Nigga, you don't on national TV, you gonna get up there and then call him by the name I gave him and say that's your son?
What
Nigga, you
name
are
is he
out your
supposed to
fucking
call him?
mind.
Ain't that what?
Well, see that happened to me before, right? My before my son mom got married, right? She was dealing with somebody, and they've been dealing with each other for a little bit, and so the person was on Facebook saying my son was their son, and I'm like, huh?
Look, man, this
What
is
the
see,
fuck
this
is
is the
like?
problem.
It was
He said,
about to be a
huh?
serious issue.
We talked about stories before on these spaces, Rashad, about the stepdad who paid for all of this and did all of that. And then when it came down to graduation or some shit, the kid wanted their real dad there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you need to stay in your lane and play your position, because shit like that happen, and then you're gonna be on the timeline looking like Boo Boo the Fool. I didn't pay for this all this time, and now she want her real dad to walk her down the
But
aisle of
that's
the wedding.
different because clearly, if a kid felt like that at the end of the road, there was some missteps,
No,
right? There
no,
was.
no, no. You kind of you almost hit it right there. It's about the kid. It's about the relationship that the kid puts on, because the kid is the only one in this situation who was thrown into it involuntarily. And so the kid needs to make that determination. Now, if the kid looks up and says, "Hey, my real daddy ain't shit. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't been around. You've been here. You've been holding it down. You taught me how to ride a bike. You taught me how to tie my shoes. You my dad." Okay, cool. Everything, the kid just set the tone from that point. But you don't get to make that declaration, nor do you get to make that declaration on national television.
Yeah, the national TV part, in my opinion, that was a stretch. But they are married, so it's only so much you can do. But like I said, I would be more interested in what Baby Future calls Russ, because there's no way in hell, I don't give a fuck how much money you paying, what you providing to my baby mama. I don't want my kids calling you dad.
Right,
No
but
way.
but I feel like you're saying that from the perspective of like a super involved
Ego.
and stand up parent, and sure, I won't take that away from y'all. I don't think that applies to Future. Y'all be trying to apply all these ethics to somebody that don't apply to. Is Future
But we
seeing that
also
kid
got
every day?
but we also gotta, what Ciara was doing before Russ, before they got married, was nasty, right? They were having naked photo shoots with the baby.
Naked.
Um,
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
that was some wild
no, they
shit.
were, they did.
That
Oh
was some
shit, they
wild
did for real.
shit.
Oh, I ain't gonna
Yeah,
go
they
look at that.
had
That's
naked
nasty.
photo shoots. What else? She was more of parading Baby Future around with Russ and putting them on social media. Russ never did it, right? To me, that looked really nasty because y'all not married, right? Y'all boyfriend and girlfriend. No matter how serious you think the dating is, y'all motherfuckers ain't married. That shit was nasty, right? And so to me, I like CJ said, I think the child has to make that determination, and I don't know if that
How
would be the case
how
just
old
based on what we see.
how old is Baby Future now?
Probably like 11. I think
Okay,
him and my
so
son probably like the same age. I think like 11 or some shit.
so
Yeah,
you're
see,
saying
that's a
like the
weird spot to put him
biological
in.
father gets to be a deadbeat all the way comfortably, all the way up until the kid is a teenager and can say, "Yeah, you're a deadbeat. I don't want to call you
I think
dad."
whatever Baby Future decides, then that should be his decision. I don't necessarily know that it's being his decision just based on how Ciara was moving back in the day. In my opinion, I think that, do they have it seems like a healthy household with those 4 kids? Of course, I wouldn't put no smut. I also gonna push back on Future being a deadbeat. Definitely don't think that. But
Mm.
I think that, I don't know. I wouldn't want somebody to put that on my child of, this person is now in the house, and so you need to call them dad because this is who I'm with.
to, to
I would
answer
I wouldn't
to
like that
answer
I
at all.
got a
But
Kenya's
let's
question
question.
though, to answer your question, Kenya, I don't think that time, you can't look at time as it is just these little capsules in a vacuum. Like, time goes on, so we don't know about any of the situation on how that household has moved between the co-parenting situation, and we don't know that that child don't have feelings of, hey, I'm cool around here because everything's provided for, but as soon as I'm out this bitch, I'm kicking it with my pops. You know what I mean? Like, because that is a very real thing that happens in broken homes without the celebrity shit. And
and
so
I
that
got a
to me is why
question.
you got to let the child make that decision in their own time.
we go ahead, Isha. Then we got DB.
Just a question. This not the first time Rustin did this, right? This like the second, ain't it?
Russ has done. He's been consistent. He's done it for a while.
Okay. I just
Yeah,
wanted to make sure because
yeah,
I thought I recalled that he's called this baby his son before,
yeah.
and there
After
was a bunch of
marriage,
uproar before.
After
And
marriage,
so
he
at
started
least
leaning
we
into it.
know he's consistent in how he cares for and sees
He's
this
standing on
child,
10. That's his
which to
son.
me
But it
That's
is
his
way
also,
son.
more important than how the fuck a nigga who look like the female version of Storm gives a fuck about that shit. Okay?
That's wild.
but there also is a situation in where that I would think that there would have to be a level of respect because Future did do what he did on Twitter as far as the football with the gun. So that was something, right? That was a thing and where he didn't feel 100% comfortable. Go ahead, DB. What's the word? How you feeling on this Sunday?
What's happening, everybody? Happy Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. Um, what I hear is a shit ton of assumptions, especially pertaining to the household and how it's ran and then the structure of the co-parenting dynamics. I'm not even speaking to that. I respectfully hear and I'm gonna respectfully move on because I don't know. Um, not even gonna speak to that. What we can attest to speak to is what we see and also the actions that Russell has shown and how that young man has looked. Again, he's 11 years old. He's born in May of 2014. Baby Future. What he has shown in public settings, because I don't know what's going on in his household, and none of you motherfuckers know what's going on in that household, so I don't even know why nobody's speaking to that. In public, the kid look.
We don't care about that. We over here to make assumptions. What you got? God damn.
I didn't interrupt the
Go
song.
ahead.
I just want to speak my 2 cents. In public, what uh, we seen nothing but a happy as little young boy. He looked pretty happy. Russ looks pretty happy being a stepfather at this juncture, of this young man's life. In addition to, um, it looked like putting him in position to be also an upstanding young man. So, and Future may be playing a part in that as well as his actual biological father. I don't know, but it seems as such his kid is in good hands, in good spirits. I have no issue with what Russ said, especially as a married man to the woman with whom created a.
Went out.
He
Look at
in the
the Lord.
blender.
Yeah, went out. Yeah, I think that one thing about, especially boys, they love their daddy. Whether you a
Enter
crackhead or you
in the picture.
Future, boys love their daddy. And so,
So
you breaking up, DB. We can't hear you. Yeah, and so I think boys loving
the
their
young
dad. I think what we see more is that family dynamic because that's just the narrative, or that's where Ciara is at in her life, right? That is where Russ is at in his life, and where this is all about family, right? Future's not there, obviously. He going through
all
something with that goddamn purple
right,
hair. You breaking up, DB. We can't hear you. Future is going through something, but that doesn't necessarily mean, in my opinion, that he's not present or that he's a deadbeat, right? And so I
I
think
agree with
that
that.
one, that's unfair to say because a lot of times in which we've seen, especially, the likes of the Eliza Reigns and shit like that, and where that was another instance in where Future was like, hey man, I don't want no baby, or kind of like with Anthony Edwards, I don't want no baby, and she said fuck that, and then went on the sympathy tour on why and all this other shit, high risk. And so those narratives are put out. I think we see that a lot of times when his baby mamas get mad and then 2 weeks later they posting pictures and shit, right? And so I wouldn't necessarily put that on there. He is alive and he's well. And I think that there has to be a level of respect, in my opinion, when it comes to handling these situations. I don't think it necessarily is, fuck that nigga, I don't give a fuck, I'm the husband now, nigga, they in my house, I'm gonna do it. Like, I don't think that should be the play, or that should be the attitude or the mindset. And I also don't think that when it comes to the child, hey, start calling this person dad because this is my husband. I don't think that should be forced onto the child either. That shit seem unfair.
And
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think
That
it
shit
was,
seem nasty.
yeah, I don't think that was the case, one. And then number two is like, what do people that since he is a stepfather and actually is married now again to his mom, what is, what is the agreeable term that somebody should call that stepchild or the boy should call that stepfather? So
Like
that
I
I
said,
think that's probably another question that's case by case.
I call my stepmom Miss Sean, and I've been calling her that since I known her. I say that to this day.
But again, in a marriage context is what I want to focus on
Yeah, my
because
dad
that
was
is
married to
important.
my stepmom.
Did you
Okay,
grow up in the household
yeah,
with
I
like
step
other,
back.
like, did they have kids that you grew up with together,
Yeah, my
all of you?
sister.
Mm.
Yeah, and so
Yeah, I get that, but that's what was comfortable to you. If that man and that baby calling each other son and dad is comfortable for them, that isn't wrong.
I don't think no baby,
Yeah,
no, I
I
don't
don't.
think
I
no
agree with that.
kid,
I agree with
especially
that. Age.
no kid, especially that age. It's hard for me to see, especially if the father is present, just a little bit. I don't see a boy calling another man dad on like independent thought. I don't see that where you just wake up one day,
It
this is
happens,
Especially
my
when he
dad.
be
man. That's
spending time with his real dad. That's what I'm
Yeah, I
saying.
don't
The
see a
thing
boy.
is, it's not about the marriage dynamics. It's not about what's going on in that household. It's not about none of that shit. It is simply about a situation where this man knows good and well that I spend or this kid spends time with his real dad, and you get on national TV. Everybody know y'all business. Everybody know who your baby mama is, who your wife is, and how all of that shit is attached. And you make the move to say my son future. You could have just said my son and left his name out of it. That's the thing about it is Russell Wilson has some audacity that I've never seen him have to make that declaration.
Yeah, Russ, man. Like he's doing the noble thing. He married that woman, and by all accounts, he bought her masters back and all type of shit. I just when I seen that, it just raised eyebrows because I don't know if it's independent thinking. I can't imagine. Like I said, I can't imagine a kid that young making that decision.
well, we
And
know
where,
it's independent thinking because it only came from Russ. We don't know what baby future thinks or feels.
yeah,
We
that's what I'm
don't
saying.
know.
We'll find out. We'll find out in the next 7 years as they become of age and 18 years of age. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned to things of that nature.
Period.
Yeah,
Let's figure
literally.
out what the fuck he gonna call Russ when he get
Mhm.
older. Listen, man, I don't know. I would
That's the
be
name. That's the name of the space options. Stay tuned.
so DB. You telling me, and Mushy is saying you connecting, bro. So DB, you telling me you have your first son. Whatever happens, worst thing in the world happens. You and the mom don't work out, right? You wouldn't mind your son calling another nigga dad?
It wouldn't. It wouldn't. I'm a more logical man. If that brother and my baby mother that I created the dynamic with, again in this context, remarried another man because I would never have a child out of wedlock. So that's just my personal uh, take on that. Children and the procreation of it. If she remarried another man and they was an upstanding brother and that was, was there in good faith, I would have no issue, with it. He would have two fathers at that juncture. So in my eyes, that's me. Batista.
Yeah, you a better man than me. Mushy, what's the word? How you feeling?
Virginia ever produced, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh
Wake it
Lord.
up. Wake that shit up, Mush.
Get him, Mush.
I,
What's wrong with
I'm
these
telling
niggas,
you,
man?
bro. That nigga from my city, we don't even recognize that nigga, bro. That's how bad that shit is with that dude, bro. Like no bullshit. But I can understand. Like, all right, I got a homeboy, right? He got a son. You know what I'm saying? Him and his son was him and his the baby mama kind of went through it. You know what I'm saying? So I was talking to him the other day and he was like, he called his stepdad dad and shit. But he was like, I understand him doing that shit cause I won't dare me and his mama and shit, was going through stuff and he been in there in the house since he was like 2 years old or whatever. And it was just like, I understand it cause, my son in a good situation. But on this situation here, y'all gotta put some goddamn shit on Ciara too, bro, because y'all know, just like other people that came up here and said, bro, she knew what this situation was. She created this whole fucking mess between, what I'm saying, them two dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, she plays a part. But Russ is just a fucking clown, but like, I was telling, I think when I put it on the timeline shot and, Isha had said something, I was like, all right, I'm a stepdad myself, but I always tell these kids to honor their father, because later on, this shit can be fixed. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with my stepdaughter, I call them my stepdaughters. I don't call them my daughters. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a respect their fathers in the same way. And it seems like this bro, dude ain't got no respect for Future at all, bro. And it come from that female. You know what I'm saying? Cause you gotta do shit like that. Like, at some point, she gotta be like, that's their father. You know what I'm saying? Like, but in this household, I don't know how they running it, but you can see, like, it just spill over and we talk about it all the time. Kenya, I know Kenya, but, but
Boo, tomato, tomato,
I
tomato.
I just, I just
I'm
feel like,
throwing tomatoes.
Russ
go
gotta
ahead, Kenya,
stand on
get your shit
10
out, Kenya.
too.
Get your shit out, Kenya.
I'm
Go ahead.
throwing tomatoes because this is a bunch of bullshit. Y'all just sound so like bitter and hurt. First of all this assumption that Sierra. Future had a lot of antics back then. Okay, he seems very immature, and he's been very immature. So I don't really know how much Sierra could have done to always alleviate all of them issues if he's just a very petty, immature person.
But
Secondly,
she chose him like that.
yes, she chose him, and
And
then
she
life
also
moved
chose to
on.
get the fuck away.
Right. And so this
But
is the
that's not
thing
what
that
Mushy is speaking
happens.
to, though.
No, but it is in essence, that kind of is what you're speaking to
No, what
because
Mushy is saying, like after they broke up, right? And what I said as far as the antics that, and I have to give Russ credit, he did not fall for the banana in the tailpipe when they were just dating. He didn't do all the extra posting and look at this. That was her, and it didn't. To me, when I seen it, it didn't seem like it was coming from a genuine place. And so I think that's what Mushy is speaking to as far as she is playing a part in this shit. And then Russ is not standing on 10 as far as, that level of respect that I think that some people would assume that he might have.
but I don't know why you guys are assuming that he would even have that. I don't know what has gone on between them, but for whatever reason, if he feels so emboldened to step in and to say, my son, and whatever that dynamic looks like in the house, I just feel like there's a reason for why he feels to do that. And I just don't see anything specifically that he's done that could be considered a disrespect for you guys to have that take. And the only reason I said like, okay, I think it is the move on thing. That's like the problematic thing here is because a lot of times, like, I don't want to say this like the wrong way, but if she left a situation where, let's say she never, left Future and she stayed and she just wanted to stick it out and make it work, that's my BD. That child might have, baby Future might have gotten just a very different home life than what he's getting with her and Russell. Now, if I come into the picture and I'm giving you structure and I'm giving the baby what the baby needs. I'm attentive. I'm like, very engaged with the child, very in the know. I'm here daily. Like, if I'm the person that's doing that and you just want to have a problem with me just to have a problem with me, that's a you thing because it sounds like this is just a better situation.
Future said, and I appreciate Afro, fist in the air for Afro. Future said, I got it out the field, fuck Russell. I remember that song. I think that song was with Migos. I'm pretty sure, but I might be off. Obviously, there is something there, right? And Future's not the nigga where he gonna be sitting on blogs and saying all kind of shit. But there is something there as far as, him and Russell. And so to me, I would think that there would be a level of respect that probably a boundary was crossed, and it looks like it's no going back. But we can't just assume, like I said, I wouldn't. Future's still alive, so doing certain type of things when that child has a father and he's still alive, that's where my pushback is.
That's
Go
what I'm
Right.
ahead,
Y'all
saying.
just
Afro.
keep
Yeah, that's
saying
what I'm
Yeah.
has a
saying,
So
father
Todd.
and
Oh,
still alive. And if that's your
so
base, like if that is the requisite, if that's all that's needed is having the father and still alive, but you get to like not like, why is that all that there needs to be in
Because
order
the
for there
assumption
to
that
be
Future don't
respect
do nothing
given?
is nasty. And I'm not going to jump to that conclusion because they're not together. I'm not going to jump to the conclusion that, Future is a deadbeat. He doesn't see his child. He doesn't care for his child. He don't send no money. That's a nasty assumption.
Didn't Sierra have some problems with the child support situation?
No, Ciara said she never needed child support. She didn't say that she had problems with child support. And so to make that assumption is crazy. And so I'm not going to go there. So I'm going to assume
But
that
we
he
don't,
is
but it's
in.
not an assumption at the time
It
of
is.
when no, it's not because
Okay, calm
when
down,
all
Kenya.
that
Calm
stuff
down, calm
that you
down.
guys are talking about that happened between them when all of that stuff was going on, how was that even able to happen? Where was Future? Was Future and Ciara on good terms? Were they meeting and passing the kid back and forth?
I don't know, but me not liking my baby mama ain't got shit to do with me raising my kid. That's all I'm
Can I
saying.
can
I
I go
get that.
now?
I just
Can
don't
you? Can
know
I
if
go, Ken?
Future has that sentiment.
Go ahead, DB, then Levita, Stalkers, and then Audra.
So a couple things. Point number one, y'all spoke on Sierra and Russell in the beginning and all that shit. Russell made Sierra go through shit to get on his program in that beginning. You can go back and hear it and see it, whatever, back whenever the fuck it was, up 10 years ago, when a year had went past. He basically put on a year trial, no sex. It was some parameters around that she had to abide by as a fucking woman to have the privilege to take that next step for him. So I commend him for putting a bitch on his program, number one. And he ultimately married her. And she earned whatever she earned in that dynamic. You can fact check it all you want. Number two, it's three different dynamics that I have no answers to, and I don't know how the fuck y'all have the answers to. The first one, Future and Sierra's dynamic. The second one, the child and Future's dynamic. The son son and father dynamic, and then the stepdad and the son dynamic. We have no answers to this. And please stay on if y'all know. But I don't know. What we will find out though is what this child felt in his upbringing with his dynamics and his childhood. Whenever he talk about it, when he will talk about it, because people gonna want to know down the road. Whenever, assuming when he's probably 18, so you gotta wait that 7 years, as I said. He's 11 now. And whenever you do have that conversation, it will be big time. Because if Russell is just doing this shit for the plot on TV because the Christian brother and, a leader of men, that's actually what he is in his profession. And I would also assume what he put Sierra through in his household as well. So, and yes, the Future song came out with the Migos in 2003. Who knows? I don't know
Hey,
what's going
hey,
on with
DB, I
this
got
this
one
nigga.
thing.
2003,
One
boy.
thing. Hey, DB, you
It
say
was
he a leader of
2023,
men.
2023. Yes, Future. Okay, now we're gonna challenge his leadership of men as an
Hold on,
individual
wait.
I
with
was
Before
just
we get
ready,
to
man.
that,
Oh
Hold
before
on.
my
we get to that,
god, bro.
I was just
hold on,
ready
wait.
to say there ain't nobody like that nigga on this team. So I don't know what you
Hold
talking
on,
about.
wait. Yeah, that was true. But hold on, before we get
no
to
no
that,
no
hold
no
on,
no. You
DB.
cannot like me, but at the end of the day, you gonna respect me as a fucking man, bro. Are y'all fucking?
Yeah, they didn't respect him either. They said this nigga was doing funny shit on the plane.